The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're starting off tonight with an exclusive. The Houston Independent School District will be taken over. Once again, taken over by the Texas Education Agency, of which you've been hearing over the last 2 weeks, the TEA. Representative Ron Reynolds confirmed these latest developments. I spoke with both him and Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Before we hear from Mayor Turner, Representative Reynolds says plans for the future of HISD, well, done deal. And joining us from Austin is State Representative Ron Reynolds. You had a chance to speak with the commissioner of the TEA, Mike Morath, and we weren't sure if the TEA would move forward with closing schools, a school, or taking over the district, but you have further clarification, right?
Absolutely, Isaiah. It is my pleasure to give you an exclusive. I had a conversation with Commissioner Morath, who happens to be my fraternity brother, even though he's a white guy. Go figure, right? He's an African man. So I said, hey, Brad, what's really going on? And we talked, and he told me that he will be meeting next week with us legislators from the Houston area to let us know basically that it's imminent that TEA will take over HISD. Once they meet with us, they'll be likely sending a letter to HISD announcing the takeover, and then they will get input in terms of who should be on the board of managers to oversee the district. The board of trustees currently oversees the district, but the board of trustees that were duly elected would be there as figureheads. They wouldn't have any power to hire a superintendent, to fire a superintendent, to hire and fire principals, to make decisions on behalf of the district. So this is something that is imminent. We're still fighting vigorously against it. We believe that the TEA takeover is wrong. HISD has done an exemplary job of raising standards under Miller House and the new board. So we filed legislation. Also, I want to tell you, Isaiah, Dr. Alma Allen filed a bill yesterday. Senator Carol Alvarado filed in the Senate. I'm a joint author. Others are authors to repeal the bill that allowed TEA to do this. But currently, the commissioner said the court ruled in their favor and they will move forward, but they are going to do it deliberatively. He assured me that it wasn't going to be a overnight thing. They were going to take their time to make sure that they try to do it right.
And what does this mean for the superintendent who's currently in charge? If he brings in a board to oversee the district, will they have hiring or firing authority with the current superintendent?
They will, Isaiah. They would have the ability to fire Millard House on the spot. They may have to honor his contract. They could buy him out like you fire a coach for the Texans and bring in a new one. They would have the ability to terminate his contract and bring in a new superintendent. And the law doesn't specify how long the takeover is. So it could be 1 month, 1 year, 10 years. And so this is a really bad law. And this is unfortunate that TEA is going to do this when the district seems to be making substantial progress. So Miller House, he is at the liberty of the TEA commissioner and the potential new board of managers. So I'm very disappointed, and we're going to continue to fight it. But it does look like that it's imminent. It just may not happen tomorrow or next. It's likely within the next months, but not days, but next weeks to months. Next week, they'll probably get a letter. And then over the course of the next few months, I believe that TEA will likely take over HISD.
And Mr. Morath will be meeting with you guys next week, the Houston delegation,
correct,
legislative delegation. And he said once that's done, then HISD will be served that letter.
Well, he said that, look, I'm not going to do anything until I meet with you guys. So he was very specific about his words. He's a smart man. He said, I'm not going to do anything until I meet with you guys. So I said, after you meet with us, what's going to happen next? He said, more than likely, we'll send a letter. The next steps would be a formal letter going to the district to let them know that they're based on this trigger in the legislation, we will be taking you over. So I think he's doing that as a courtesy to us. We are in the legislative session and he's being, courteous. But at the end of the day, he answers to Governor Abbott and they passed the law and they intend to move forward with this. They had the option to close Wheatley or take over the district. It's my understanding that their option that they're choosing is to take over the district.
Are you at all surprised that they have made this decision and told State Representative Ron Reynolds and maybe other lawmakers as well?
Well, I'm not surprised, Isaiah, based on the information that I was getting from Austin, from people in Austin. They were telling me that the decision had already been made. And they did say at the time that they thought the decision would be, the announcement would be made around March the 6th. That's one of the reasons why I went and said what I did say when I said it. And I think because of the outcry, that announcement was probably postponed. So I'm not surprised. I think they've already made a decision on the superintendent, and I think they already know who they intend to bring in as the new superintendent. All of this is happening behind closed doors, no transparency, no community involvement, certainly no discussion with the parents. So all of this is very disconcerting. And the reason why I'm concerned is that how you start is how you finish. And if you're starting this way, then how will the school district be operated? So I am not surprised based on what Representative Reynolds is saying to you, because I think the decision was already made.
What will be the next step? What can the community do? Because the TEA is saying their backs are against the wall because of this Dutton legislation. Is that the case? Could they write some new legislation?
That is not the case. The legislature is currently in session, and state senators, Carol Alvarado, Senator Boris Miles, along with some of the state House members, have already filed a bill that removes any sort of mandate for the state to move on HISD. So it doesn't have to be at all. But I want people to understand that it's not just as easy as say we're going to come in and take over your board of trustees and put in place a board of managers. We're going to move out your superintendent. There are some major stakeholders in this whole scenario. Parents and children, major stakeholder here. Your bus drivers, your custodial workers, your cafeteria workers, and certainly your teachers, major stakeholders here. You can't come in, the state can't come in to take over the largest school district in the state without the cooperation and the backing and the support of these major stakeholders.
Now, we reached out to TEA and we have not received a response yet from Austin. And a comment from the mayor about the bus drivers had me thinking, so I reached out to the bus drivers union. We have also now learned bus drivers with HISD has put a plan in place in case TEA takes over, and it's called Blue Monday. But President Retha Thomas would not give us further details, so we have to figure out what they are doing as support workers with HISD.